Jake, I need you to check something for me because I think I have been using a word wrong my entire life.
Okay, which word?
Literally. I say it constantly. I am literally dying. I literally cannot even. And someone told me recently that I am using it completely wrong because literally is supposed to mean something actually happened, not just for emphasis.
Well, here's the twist. You are not wrong, not anymore anyway. Literally is now one of the most famous examples in English of a word that has quietly grown a second meaning that is basically the opposite of its first meaning.
Wait, what?
Literally used to mean only, in a literal, factual, exact sense. I literally broke my arm meant this really happened, not as an exaggeration. But over time, so many people started using literally for emphasis, even when nothing literal was happening, that dictionaries eventually had to add a second definition. Literally now also means figuratively, used for emphasis.
So the word for this actually happened now also means the opposite. This did not actually happen. I am just being dramatic.
Exactly. And once you know that, you start noticing that English is absolutely full of these words that either mean two opposite things at once or words whose meaning has quietly flipped over centuries into something completely different from where it started.
Welcome, everyone, to Real Talk Podcast. I'm Mia, this is Jake, and today we are going through some of the strangest words in English. Words that mean the complete opposite of what you think, or that secretly mean two contradictory things at the same time. By the end of this episode, you are going to look at some very ordinary, everyday words completely differently.
And honestly, even advanced English speakers do not know most of these. So if you learned something today, you are officially ahead of a lot of native speakers.
I love that. Okay, let's start with one that genuinely shocked me when I first learned it. Sanction.
Yes, sanction is probably the single best example of what is called a contronym, a word that contains its own opposite meaning inside it.
What does that even mean?
It means the same word, sanction, can mean to officially approve or permit something, and it can also mean to punish or penalize something, usually a country or an organization. The government sanctioned the research program, means they approved it. The government imposed sanctions on the country, means they are punishing it.
So the exact same word means both yes, you may, and also you're in trouble.
Exactly, and you can only tell which one is meant from the context around it. If you hear economic sanctions, you know it means punishment. If you hear officially sanctioned by the committee, you know it means approval.
That is such a strange word to exist. Okay, next one, and this one is honestly one of my favorites. Terrific.
Terrific is a great one because most people today only know the positive meaning. That movie was terrific. That's a terrific idea. It basically means wonderful, excellent, amazing. But the word terrific originally came from terror, the same root as terrifying. And it originally meant something that caused terror or fear.
Wait, so terrific used to mean terrifying?
Exactly. A terrific storm used to mean a storm so powerful it filled you with terror. Over time, the word softened into meaning something that impresses you so much it's almost overwhelming. And eventually that overwhelming feeling shifted from fear into excitement and admiration. So the meaning basically flipped from terrifying to wonderful.
That is genuinely wild. Okay, and I feel like awful must have a similar story, right?
You guessed exactly right. And it's honestly the perfect companion to terrific. Awful today means very bad, unpleasant, terrible. That meal was awful. But the word awful literally means full of awe. It originally describes something so powerful, so majestic, so overwhelming that it filled you with reverence and wonder, usually something like a cathedral, a mountain, or a religious experience.
So awful and terrific both used to describe something overwhelming and powerful, and they both drifted in opposite emotional directions.
Exactly. Terrific drifted from fear toward wonderful, and awful drifted from wonder toward terrible. Same starting point, opposite endings.
That is genuinely one of the coolest things I've learned about English. Okay, back to contronyms, words that contain their own opposite. I heard cleave is one of these too.
Cleave is probably the most extreme example of a contronym in the entire language because the two meanings are almost perfectly opposite. Cleave can mean to split something apart forcefully, like the axe cleaved the log in two. And cleave can also mean to cling to something tightly, to stick together, like the couple cleaved to each other through hard times.
So one version means to violently separate, and the other version means to hold on tightly.
Exactly. Split apart or stick together. The two most opposite actions you could imagine inside the exact same word. And honestly, this comes from two completely different Old English words that just happen to evolve into the same spelling over time.
That feels almost unfair to English learners. Two entirely different old words just merged together, and now we have to guess from context?
Welcome to English. It happens more than you would think.
Okay, this next one I think trips up a lot of professionals. Oversight.
Yes, oversight is a fantastic example because in a business or professional context, both meanings can genuinely show up in the same conversation. Oversight can mean careful supervision and monitoring, like the finance team provides oversight of the budget. And oversight can also mean a small mistake or something that was accidentally missed, like forgetting to attach the file was an oversight.
So oversight can mean I am watching this very carefully, and it can also mean I completely missed this.
Exactly. Careful watching or an accidental failure to watch carefully enough. The irony is almost poetic if you think about it, since a lack of oversight can literally cause an oversight.
Wait, say that one more time?
A lack of oversight can cause an oversight.
Okay, that one actually broke my brain a little.
It's a good one to sit with.
Okay, last one, and I think this might be the most famous confusing word pair in all of English. Inflammable.
Yes, this one causes actual real-world safety confusion, which is why it matters so much. Most people assume that because the word starts with the prefix in, it must mean the opposite of flammable, so not able to catch fire. But inflammable actually means exactly the same thing as flammable. It means something that catches fire easily.
Wait, so flammable and inflammable mean the same thing?
The exact same thing, because in this word, the in is not a negative prefix. It comes from the Latin word inflammare, meaning to set on fire, the same root that gives us inflame and inflammation. It has nothing to do with a negative in prefix, like an inactive or invisible.
So if I see a truck that says inflammable, it does not mean it's safe, it means the opposite.
It means exactly the opposite of what most people would assume, and this confusion has genuinely caused real accidents in the past, which is actually why a lot of safety labels today just use flammable instead, to avoid the exact confusion we're talking about right now.
That is genuinely one of the most important words on this entire list, because getting it wrong is not just embarrassing, it could actually be dangerous.
Exactly, and that's actually the perfect example of why understanding these words matters beyond just sounding smart at a dinner party. Sometimes assuming the obvious meaning of a word can genuinely lead you in the wrong direction.
Okay, let's do a quick recap of everything we covered today.
Let's do it.
Sanction means both to officially approve something and to punish something, usually a country.
Literally originally meant something actually happened. Now also means the opposite, used just for emphasis.
Terrific originally meant terrifying, now means wonderful and amazing.
Awful originally meant full of awe and wonder, now means very bad and unpleasant.
Cleave means to violently split apart and also to cling together tightly.
Oversight means careful supervision and also an accidental mistake.
And inflammable does not mean fireproof. It means exactly the same as flammable, easily set on fire.
And the bigger lesson underneath all of this is that English is not a fixed logical system. It's a living language that has absorbed words from Latin, from Old English, from French, from 100 other sources. And sometimes those words collided, merged, or quietly flipped meaning over centuries, which means even the words you think you know completely can still surprise you.
I genuinely did not know at least 3 of these before today, and I speak English every single day.
And that's exactly why this stuff is worth learning. Not because you need to memorize every contronym in English, but because it teaches you to stay a little curious about words you thought you already fully understood.
Subscribe to Real Talk Podcast and send this episode to someone who says literally about things that are definitely not literal.
Drop a comment telling us which word on this list surprised you the most. We read every single one.
Take care, everyone. Stay curious. Question the words you think you already know. See you in the next one. Bye.